Hi ladies, and welcome back to our part 2 of Sustainable Strength. We really hope that you enjoyed part 1 and that it was impactful in your life, that you could really relate to it. And we hope that you enjoy part 2.
Yes, and part 2, we are going to be chatting about sustainable strength in community and with your girls. So get your notebooks out and I hope you enjoy this episode.
Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come our way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. Now, how opposite is that to the way we look at the stuff we go through now? It says, for you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. And that's God's plan. Like, it doesn't say if troubles ever come your way. It says when troubles come your way. This is life. Troubles are going to come our way. It is going to happen. And we need to learn to get to that place where God is our priority. And we are continuously handing over everything to God so that we can grow in endurance. Because this is a long distance race. It's not a sprint. It's not like, let me see how much I can get on my back and sprint. And there I am. Like, I'm complete. No, it's this long journey of endurance and allowing God to grow us. And humbly just handing over everything to Him, trusting that He is our strength and He is everything that we need in our source.
And I think that's so good. Like, I think it's just that endurance, like you said. It's not a sprint. You don't need to do everything now. The only person that's wanting that is you. I think, like, we have all these thinking, trying to live up to all these expectations of the people around us and doing all of this. But I love what you said, humility, because it does. It takes so much humility just to be like, God, I can't do this alone. I need you to come and help me. And it's okay. And I think that's the best advice someone gave me was, it's okay not to be okay. God doesn't expect us to live this perfect life. He just wants us to be obedient. He wants us to be humble, to lay our life down for Him so that He can help us. He's never called us to be perfect, ever.
Never. That's a lie from the enemy. That's a worldly kind of expectation. No one is perfect. God, like I say, doesn't call us to be perfect. He's created us with weaknesses so that His strength can be made perfect, and so we can glorify Him in our weaknesses. I love that scripture. It's like you can surrender to that. You can hand over when you read that and be reminded of that. Like it makes you. You can breathe.
Feel like a breath of fresh air.
Like, why am I trying to be perfect? God is perfection. And when we allow, like when we, are open about our weaknesses and hand it over to God,
when His strength shines through. And just on that, like, it's just so crazy, like just this past week and all the emotions that have come with it for me. But it's so crazy because at the beginning of the year, God gave me a sense of the word freedom. And it's just so crazy how this year's started, because I haven't been living in this freedom. If anything, it's even worse. All I've been doing is adding more to my load, becoming more anxious, depending less on Him. And He's just like, just spend time with me, spend time in my presence, let me carry that load so that you can live in the freedom that I've given you. And just that what other people are thinking and other people's expectations, and living up to that and being so scared and nervous of what everyone else is thinking of me is not living in God's freedom. And it's so crazy how we fake this strength for ourselves, but also because we don't want anyone else to think that we're less than, think that we're weak. And it's so crazy. No, because when any of my friends come to me and it's like, I'm actually going through a really tough time, never am I like, you're weak, you're not doing this. And it's just something that we build up in our head, that we want to meet other people's expectations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Us ladies.
It's amazing, really.
Yeah.
And even like, talking about the subject and praying about it, you think of John 15 again, where God says, I'm the vine and you are the branches. I'm the vine. He is our sustainability. He is our source, And it is a lesson that we keep learning day after day, week after week, year after year. We have to keep being reminded of this. And I think that's why we have to be so intentional about that time with God, because we have all got to this place and into this habit of idolizing anything that we can, any form of escapism. It's becoming more and more like that, because the busier we get, the more we need to, or we feel we need to escape from this busyness, because I'm so busy, I need that thing. if we can just get back to a place where we are prioritizing God,
Absolutely.
allowing Him to sustain us, and
Yes.
everything else can be an added time of refreshing
It's
or
so true.
rest.
And it's just so crazy because like we're just trying so hard to be strong and just trying so hard to put on this mask, but it's just becoming an idol in our lives instead of surrendering and saying to God, I can't do this alone. And like it's crazy because like we said in the first podcast, you can think it's just you, but every single lady I speak to, all man that I speak to is all just saying that like, you know, it's April and I'm overwhelmed. It's April and I'm depleted. Like I was speaking to a friend and she's like, I never cry, and I cried last week because it's just like, it's April. Like everyone in my life is just working so hard and it's like, how is life so busy?
I keep saying it feels like it should be the end of the year.
It feels like I've done the year. It's actually April.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
And I think that's why this topic is so important.
Yeah.
Because it's something that we can all benefit from.
Yeah.
And then on top of that would be our point number 2 of that.
Yeah. So point 1 was, if you didn't get it, it's God is our source of strength.
God is our priority.
Yeah.
And secondly, God created us to do life together. Says, if I didn't have you,
we said this every day.
To talk to, but it just reminds everyone how important it is. If I didn't have you to come and talk to, and do you know how often I'll go home and say to Derek, I chatted to Sarah today, and she's feeling exactly like me. And it gives me such a sense of peace that I'm able to share my burdens with you.
Yeah.
And you can give me wisdom, or just listen, just walk with me, you'll share scriptures with me, you'll encourage me, and we do that together. It's so important. God has created us to do life together. He's given you strengths and gifts and talents that can be a blessing to me, can be a blessing to the girls in your life group, can be a blessing to the girls in View City, can be a blessing to your besties, you know, your family. And the same with me, He's given me gifts and talents and strengths that can be a blessing to others. But then, like we spoke earlier, we've got these weaknesses, and that's why we come together as a body. We operate together as a body. We were speaking about this yesterday in our staff meeting on this book that we started reading, the 17 Indisputable Laws of Team.
It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful by John Maxwell, and we've only read the first chapter, and it's brilliant. But that applies to life. You know, we are here to do life together. God didn't create us to try and do it on our own, and this is another part of it. We try and be strong and look strong. We idolize this, you know, idea of being strong and not needing other people. But it's so contrary to how God created us. He created us to do it together. So I come to you, and never mind your tech skills and all the things I don't have. But you know, like and when you're in a team, you can accomplish so much as opposed to when you're trying to do things on your own. When you're sharing the load, bringing together your gifts and talents. When you're in a team, you can accomplish so much more. You do it so much better. And the same applies in our lives, in our personal lives. When we do it together in a, like we said, whether it's in your family, in a group of friends, in your life group, you can thrive. You can be a blessing to others, and others can be a blessing to you. We are not called to do it on our own. We're called to be in community.
So true. And there's a scripture, and I don't know the reference, and I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in Exodus. And it's just Moses, and the Israelites are fighting a battle with, I hope I'm saying this right, the Amalekites. And they are, and basically God says if he can keep his arms up, then the Israelites are going to win. But like, hold him up, and I can't do this for long because it's going to be painful. But every time he holds his arms up, then the Israelites will win. But if he drops him, then the Amalekites are going to win. But you can't hold your arms up like that for yourself. And it's such a beautiful picture because 2 of the people that are on his team, they come and they hold his arms up. And for me, it's such a beautiful picture because it just shows you can't do it alone. You can't win alone. And even like that book said, it says as an individual you can enter the game, but a team takes to win. And I think it's with our lives as well. And I think, and I know I'm still quite young, but in high school I never wanted to open up to anyone, and I still sometimes struggle with that. And that's why I have to reach breaking point where I'm crying to myself. I'm like, what's it? I can't do this because I'm just that person. I never want to open up, and one day, like,
I just feel like you don't want to burden others.
You don't want to burden others. My big thing is it's such a pride thing. I don't want anyone to think that I'm weak either, but I also don't want to burden people with my problems. I'm like, you've really got all your stuff. I don't want to add my stuff to you as well, but I also don't want you to look at me like my worst. And again, it's such a pride thing, is I never want anyone to look at me with pity. And you know, you can see those pity eyes, and it's my worst thing. I'm like, stop looking at me like that. But it's so crazy because after high school, I wasn't studying. I took a gap year and I worked with the church, and all those things that I would distract myself with studying and with achieving and getting those good grades and doing dancing. You don't have that anymore, and you just felt. And I got to such a crazy place because I wasn't verbalizing what was going on. And someone at work, she used to be in our staff team, and she just came to me and she was like, "Oh, is everything okay?" And I started opening up to someone, and I was like, "How was I not doing this before?" Because you can't do it alone. Like when you do these things alone, it's worse for you because you start getting these pictures in your head of who you are that's not even true, or how you're handling things. And when like my dad always says, a shared burden is lightened burden, and I think it's so true because when you share with someone, it just becomes so much lighter, and it brings you such perspective. Like I think sharing with someone just brings such perspective. And once I did that, I was like, why was I even not telling someone? Now I sit and talk to Roxy and can't really cry about everything that's going on. Like, so this happened and this made me feel this way. And now I just want to share it because I know, like, if I share with Roxy, she's going to be able to encourage me. And it's so crazy that, like, I mean, not that we weren't really friends before you came on staff, but what a blessing, because I think, like Roxy says, we say to each other at least once a day, I'm so glad that you're here, I'm so glad that you're here, because I do think it's so true when we share our burdens. And I think I said it in the first podcast. I can't remember that scripture again, or I messed it up in the first podcast as well, but with God, we get freedom, and with people, we get healing, or it's the other way around. It's either God brings healing and people bring freedom, or God brings freedom and people bring healing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually just looking for one of the quotes in that book from yesterday, because there were so many and I know they speak about teams, but in life, it's a team. It's a team. We've got to be doing life together. And the one thing I really wanted to share was just this simple quote in here. It says, "The belief that one person can do something great is a myth." And it's the same. It applies in our life. The fact, the idea that we can just do this alone and be great at everything and be strong is such a myth. And the enemy, John 10 verse 10, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and he will keep us busy, or just lie to us with the fact that we, don't connect with others, don't trust others, you can do this alone. If he can get us to isolate, then he can attack us, and we've got no one around us, exactly like your story with lifting up the arms, lifting up his arms to help him through that struggle. It's exactly the same way. If we isolate ourselves, we're not sharing in a community and allowing other people's strengths to help us in our weaknesses, gifts and talents to help us where we don't have, then we are isolated. And Phil actually shared that picture, that image that he was in his sermon on Sunday about, there's an image of a group of zebras, and then there was one single zebra further away, and there's a lion running to attack this zebra. And he said that the quote was, "This is the image of a person who is a Christian who believes that they don't need church, and that's because it's the fellowship. It's the fellowship that you don't have, and with people we are stronger. We're stronger and better together."
It's so true. It's so true, and like it's just so crazy. I love what you said. It's a myth, and I think it's a myth for us to do things alone and on our own. And it's like the enemy's going to go for the person not surrounded by people that are going to be like that's a lie from the enemy. It's going to go for the person who's going to believe it and sit there. And it's so crazy because you can think if you go to someone that you're burdening them, or that they're going to think you're weak, but no, the people that love you and care for you and want to grow you are going to want to hear that. Like, I know it sounds so weird, but the girls we can all be a bit crazy sometimes, but I often used to think that, like, sometimes because I never wanted to share my burdens, and when I did, it felt like some of my friends would always be like, "Oh, Sarah's got a problem," and it would always look like, that they were always excited, and I was like, whoa, like, just relax. But you need to look so perfect. No, I'm not.
She's normal.
No, but I think if you're feeling that way, then maybe those aren't the right people to chat to. Go and find the people that genuinely advice, who are going to help you in the situation, who are going to pray. Like, I have an amazing girl group that Roxy started me on this, sending voice note praise, because sometimes someone will ask you to pray, and I'll forget, because that's my mind.
Listen, it helps both ways, the voice note praise.
Yes.
You remember to pray, and the other person
hears
to
hear it.
pray.
And we've got this group chat now, like with our girls, and when someone has a problem and they send it on, we'll all voice note and pray in, and I think that's so powerful. Like, those are the friends you need. Yeah. The friends that are going to pray for you, the friends that are going to love you no matter what, the friends that are going to encourage you in the right direction and not the wrong direction.
Exactly. That's the key. Is like-minded people
Yeah.
who love God and love His Word,
Yeah.
so that they're going to encourage you in what His Word says, and not in what the world says, or what maybe your emotions are dictating. They're going to encourage you in God's way.
100%.
They're going to encourage you to lean into God's Word and into God's presence. So like-minded people is the key. Yes, finding some people, just like you said, not just
whether it's one or whether it's more. Like, I think even if it's just the one, like, most of the time if I've got a problem, I'm going to Roxy and I've got that person, and you just need that one person that you know is going to help you, who's going to challenge you if you need challenging. Because sometimes I think I'll sometimes be reluctant to go to Roxy, because I know that she's not going to be like, that's the right thing to do. She's going to be like, maybe don't do that.
I love you too much.
But I always will go to her, because I know that she's going to give me the hard truth. Because sometimes people will be like, no, you're doing the right thing, when you're really not. So you need to find your girls that are going to be like, maybe you're actually maybe doing it wrong and handling the situation wrong, or looking at it from the wrong perspective, and find that person who's going to be honest with you, but honest because they love you.
Yeah, not just a yes girl, but
not
someone who
just
loves you.
a hype. We call it, the Gen Zs are calling it a hype girl. You don't want a hype girl that's just a hype girl. You do want a hype girl in some situations, but don't hype them to do the wrong thing. Hype them to do the right thing.
Completely.
Yes.
Yeah, that loves you enough to direct you in the right direction.
100%.
Yeah, love that. What a great. Okay, yes, that's a great little description of it. A hype girl.
What a great
topic.
I feel like I've been in a therapy session just offloading all of
Yeah,
that.
me too. Thanks, sis.
But I hope you ladies are encouraged by this, and it empowers you and reminds you to go to God first with your worries and your burdens and your anxieties. Then find your group of girls and do life together. Ask them for prayer. Ask them for advice. Don't be proud to handle things on your own. Go to God and go to your girls.
Yes, exactly. God is our source, and we are made for community.
We are made for community.
Amen. Absolutely. I love that. Thanks, sis.
Yeah, it was so nice to be with you ladies again.
Yeah, thanks, ladies. I hope that this topic and our scriptures and what we've chatted into has been impactful and has helped you to realize that you're not alone.
No.
That we all go through this
together.
and we're here together to do this together. Even if you want to contact Sarah or myself,
message on Instagram.
Yes, message
comments.
us. Yeah.
I almost forgot to share, subscribe.
We
comment, rate if you are listening on the podcast.
Absolutely.
But it's been so much fun. We're here to do the journey together. Like we said, we're here to do it together.
Love the journey.
Love the journey. Bye, ladies.
Bye, ladies.
See you next time.